Has he been supplying you with FSU intelligence?
No, he's he's come up and talked to us. He's just excited. He's got all good things to say. I just told him, don't make this bigger. Don't do that. Don't make this bigger than it is. Kind of like Phil with Notre Dame last year. You start doing that, it's kind of like me making a game bigger than it is. If you ever start doing that, you lose focus on the most important things. So I get it. You're gonna ask him those questions today. Please don't ask him too many and get him all fired up. But he has a lot of respect for Coach Norvell and that team, and he's had all positive things to say. So maybe we'll pick his brain later, Rich.
What do you see from this Florida State quarterback, Jordan Travis, another guy?
Another athlete, man.
Yeah.
It's like they just keep lining up to play us. Really athletic. Twitchy guy, live body, accelerates really well. I think he's throwing the ball better. He'd thrown a lot of interceptions earlier in the year. I think he's starting to make better decisions. They're protecting for him, I think, better. The offensive line's doing a nice job. They got good backs. They got 3 of them. They got some really good wideouts. They're talented. They're a very athletic team. When you think about athleticism, it's kind of like Louisville team. A lot of good, fast athletes on the team. I think Coach Norvell does a really good job with the scheme. And he's got those guys, playing better. They won a big game against Miami in a big rivalry game when they had lost 2 in a row. And you respect that they came back at the end of the game. They were down, and they made some big plays, the 4th down, and then the score at the end. I'm sure they're feeling really good right now. And they should be. So I'm excited. It's a great opportunity. It's a good team. Our guys are feeling good too. It was loud, a lot of energy. The defense was outside today, feeling good in the cold weather. Probably a little bit colder here than it is down there. So they went outside. The offense wanted to feel nice and warm and throw the ball around, so they stayed inside. But it was a great day, really good day.
You read my mind kind of. I was going to say, I noticed you were outside. Brisk, cool day. I'm sure you wouldn't mind if it's brisk and cool on Saturday.
It was nice today. What do you think? It's like 40 today? 45? It just gives us more room, and I always give the guys, the option. It was a little slick, so the wideouts wanted to stay inside. But it was nice and cool today. I'm hoping we just get a nice day for the fans to come out to the game and have another great atmosphere, truthfully.
How powerful and helpful is it to overcome a deficit? And can that carry over from one game to another? If it does happen again, you can point to it and say, listen, we've been here before.
Yeah, because like I said after the game, we were in those moments earlier in the year and we went the other way. That's what I was most proud of in that game. I mean, I don't know, you guys, if you've ever been around a game where it was 21-7 in the first half, but you get in the locker room that it's 28-21, I've never seen that before. I've seen comebacks. You go in the locker room, you're down 21-7, you come out, you push through, you win. I mean, we scored 21 unanswered points right after that first quarter. And that's what I told the team I was most proud of. That's a big learning moment. We had some last year where we came back. We haven't had them this year. So to be able to come back when you're down 14 and things don't seem like they're going in the right way, they seem like they were going opposite, that is a great moment. It's a great moment to build on for the team and for the future. And I was proud of the guys for that.
According to J-Bum, you guys have allowed the fewest completions in the whole country. That's a pretty good stat. Just what does that mean to you and what's led to that in your eyes?
I think it's a good defensive effort. Sometimes you give the secondary credit, right? But it's rush plus coverage. And I know the sacks aren't showing up, but we're doing things to make the quarterbacks throw the ball quicker. We're giving them different looks, different pressures, different stunts. We kind of change things up week to week just enough to throw people off. I think the defensive staff's doing a really good job. So a credit to those guys. They're doing a good job. And obviously the secondary. I think they're playing with confidence. They're finishing on the ball violently. They're being in the right spots. And I think if you look week to week and you turn on the TV, you see a lot of explosive plays where guys just aren't there, right? We're challenging. And if a guy makes a play on us, like you think back to, the one deep ball I could think of in the NC State game, the guy made a nice catch, right? And as much as those, you're just like, but we were there, we just got to finish, and stuff happens. They're going to make plays too. It's disheartening though when it's like 3 guys are there and there's a guy wide open. Those are the ones you can't accept. So, a credit to them. That's impressive. Thanks for sharing that stat with me.
Coach, you mentioned having the home atmosphere back this weekend, back-to-back home games to end the year. How nice is that, just routine-wise?
It's great. I feel like we've been on a plane so much, and you know what the hard part is for the guys? You go from a night game, and then we've had later road games, so we've been getting back at midnight because these trips are longer. So I feel like we've been landing at midnight, 3 o'clock, 12:30, And then you got to get up early the next day and get back at it. And the turnaround's fast, where if you get a noon game and you're done at 3:30 and you're home or the players are with their families, they get like a Saturday night, they can get a better night's sleep, they're more refreshed. And we need that because, we're a little banged up and guys are tired. Plus we get to get back in the stadium where, I was so grateful the last game, everybody still came out and it was awesome. And I'm hoping for the same thing. I know we got a noon game, so we'll get up early, like real early. I mean, this is going to be a fun one. It should be a great atmosphere, a great sunny day. Get up early, get there for the Eagle Walk, be loud, be in the stadium, please. And, it's greatly appreciated. And the guys, they really appreciate it. So I'm fired up to be back home. I can't wait.
Talk about the big runs both Zay and Phil had on Saturday.
Zay on the jet sweep coming
Yeah, with the
around
face
on the
mask.
face mask. I think if he didn't get face mask, he was gone. And Phil had a couple of them. A couple he ran up the middle, a couple he read and ran around the end, a couple he scrambled. Phil looks faster. He seems very hard to tackle right now. And that's going to be a part of what we do. Like I said, earlier in the year, we were practicing it, and if you remember, I told you guys we kind of hadn't run a lot of our stuff. That's stuff we were excited about Phil. He's not just a big guy who can throw, he can run. And it makes defenses think now. Like, you got to stop him from running, and then he can throw the ball 55 yards down the field. So it opens stuff up. And it's all about explosives, Rich. You got to score points, and you have to hit explosives. It's hard to drive the ball the length of the field and score over and over and over and over again. You get those 17-play drives, and then you get to the red zone and you stall. It's nice sometimes just to rip like a 60-yarder and score fast,
But with your offensive line, doesn't that kind of keep teams in the box against the tailback, and then when you switch into, jet sweeps and quarterback runs, that must drive them crazy.
You got to pick and choose now, right? I felt like at one point this year when I watched, the whole world was in the box. And I don't know if you can defend us like that anymore, because now the threat of getting the ball thrown over your head is back. And if people want to drop back, then we have to run the ball out. So we got to call the game, we got to see it well, we have to make the right calls and stay a step ahead and make the right adjustments. I thought Frank and the staff called a really good game last week. I thought they called a really, really good football game. Maybe the best all year.
I want to check in on injuries with the defense. Josh, DeBerry, and then Brandon Sebastian, as well as IGM. And then kind of a two-parter. Now that you guys are bowl eligible, is that more reasonable for some of the guys that might have been out for the year to potentially come back, or is that something you just monitor?
If they're capable of coming back and it won't affect their eligibility just to play in one game, I think it's definitely, you do that. If they can get practice and they get better and get a chance to go play, enjoy the bowl game with their teammates, I think that's awesome. Sebastian and IGM practiced today, so I'm hopeful. DeBerry's day-to-day, so I'm hopeful. And we'll see what happens. But it was good to see IGM running around today, and it was good to see Sebastian running around today. We've missed those guys. We've had some serious injuries on defense, which, again, you give credit to the defense for what they've done. You talked about some of the stats. We've played without a lot of starters, a lot of them. At the end of that game last week, we had like 4 or 5 really young guys in there in crucial situations, which is good. It's really good for them in the future too. But I hope we get those guys back.
Is Sheeta okay too?
Sheeta will be day to day. You saw he came out of the game. He was close to going back in. He wanted to go back in. They put a brace on it. So we'll see where he's at. But I'm hopeful for those guys this week. We'll see how it progresses. Probably have a better idea tomorrow how much they practice. Because the one thing I've learned too in my 2 years is it's a little bit different from the NFL, where if these guys don't practice Tuesday and Wednesday, it's really hard to go play well on Saturday. You got to get the reps. It's not like they've been doing this for 10 years where they know it inside and out. You got to get reps. You have to, or it's hard on game day.
FSU really spreads the ball around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one receiver that has a ton of receptions. They get the ball to the tight ends. They throw their backs. Does that make it harder as a defense to prepare and game plan? Okay, where's the ball going to go?
Not how we play defense. We're not a team that's going to match and double people, which I've been part of those schemes. If you're a defense that's going to try to take 1 or 2 guys away, and I've been a part of that, then it's hard, because then you don't know who, and then you got to just play kind of conservative. We're just not built like that schematically, and that's just being very honest with you. But they do. The backs, there's like 3 backs, 2 tight ends, 22 comes in the game, they move him all over, 9 comes in the game, they move him all over. The wideouts are good. They got a lot of skill.
What time do you wake up for a noon game? Like 4, 5?
What time do I wake up in the game? Shoot. I don't know if I sleep on the games. So, I'm excited. But the thing about the noon game is you get to have the night with your family. You know, that's important. It's really important. It's important for the players too, because their families are all here and they get to see them. And they're young kids. They still want to see their parents. You know, I want to see my parents when they come. You guys good?
Cool.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.